What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today we're going over Survivor Season 44, episode number 9. And we started with the fallout from the last tribal where Danny was able to use his idol correctly to save Franny, being a blindside onto all of the old Ratu tribe who thought that, hey, should be easy, right? We don't even have to split the votes. In fact, Brandon was saying that it's not even necessary that they're going to have to do that. But in the end, Brandon was voted out because of that whole situation. They did have the Tika members who knew it was going to happen, but they kept up the charade with the old Ratu members saying like, hey, like we can all just work together and go along with this. And if they just kind of voted with them, let Danny use the idol, that kind of keeps that, mystery of where are they actually working. Ratu thinks they can still trust the Tika members. Yam Yam actually talks about how he was really happy with this because Brandon is just another person to leave that has written down his name before. Kane is also someone who wrote down his name, and maybe that's some foreshadowing. We'll get there. We also saw that, since Danny used his idol, most likely a new idol was put into play, right? So everybody starts the hunt. Everybody's going around, they're looking for it. Danny's looking for it. Kane's trying to make sure that Danny doesn't get it. But eventually it is Heidi who actually finds the idol, and she very smartly keeps it secret. So now the only idols in the game and the only advantages that are a full secret left are Carolyn's cage idol, which nobody still thinks that she has, and Heidi's idol that she just found now. We then, after that, got a very long segment of them playing I Spy and just kind of jam messing around with Franny and having fun, looking for, I spy with my little eye firewood. And it's like, oh gosh, okay. Then we saw Carolyn telling her story, with her struggles with addiction, how she overcame that, finding her fiance, how happy she is now. It's a great story and a huge accomplishment, but it's fluff, and I don't care about fluff. Like, I want to see gameplay, and I guess, this all could go into the kind of winner's edit thing where, we are seeing a lot of Jam, we're seeing a lot of Carolyn in all of these episodes. So it does seem likely that the two of them are going to go far. But yeah, I don't care about the fluff. I really don't. Then we get some tree mail, which tells them that, hey, immunity challenge is coming up, but you're also going to have to negotiate for some rice. And I'm so sick and tired of the rice negotiations. It happened one time on one season because they didn't ration their rice properly, and they were like, oh, let's, what would it take to get some more rice, Jeff? And he was like, well, I'm really ready to negotiate. Now it's become like a staple. And it's like, come on, you don't need to do that every year. And it just makes it less interesting when less people are competing for immunity. I want to see everyone competing on the same stage. And the more people who could potentially win, the better. It makes things less predictable and more chaotic. And I like that. But I do really like Danny's thoughts on this as well. Like, just play. It's embarrassing to like sit out and be even near them when they're talking about sitting out of a challenge. And he kind of tells everybody, he's like, listen, it's 3-3-3. Let's, call a spade and let's just all play. We then head to the actual immunity challenge, and it's pouring rain. It's windy. Carson was feeling sick, so he's okay with sitting out. Lauren, who seemed like she really wasn't interested in sitting out of the challenge, then agrees to sit out, which really surprised me. Kane is also very hesitant, especially because of how last tribal goes, but Danny's like, hey, Scout's honor. I won't vote out anyone who sits out. Like, I won't do it. We also saw Carolyn and Carson kind of go in on that. He's like, I'm sitting out, but I also won't vote for somebody who sits out. So Kane eventually says, like, listen, I will sit out. Jamie does like a fake out where she's like, oh, I would sit out, but it's too big of a risk. So eventually Heidi is the last one to sit out. So they do get 4 people who sit out of the challenge, so they do get the rice from Jeff. Once we get into the challenge, Carolyn and Jamie, they fall really quick. They should have just sat out. Then they're followed shortly after by Jam. And then it comes down to Franny and Danny, but Franny is able to pull off the win for the immunity idol. We head back to camp, and immediately Danny and Heidi, they're ready to start working with the old Tika members, right? Jam, Carson, and Carolyn. Like, let's, just vote out another Ratu member. They have all these advantages. It just makes sense. Let's try and get Jamie to flush her idol is what, the Tika members kind of want to do. So they head over to Ratu, right, to Lauren, Jamie, and Kane, and they're like, hey, Jamie, they're kind of throwing your name out there. So just so you know, like, we're voting with you, but they are saying your name. So maybe you want to use that idol. Just saying they're throwing your name out there. So be careful. Lauren, though, wants to split the vote because of what happened last time. She doesn't want to see the same thing happen, and she's planning on using her extra vote as well, and they'll split the vote between Danny and Heidi. There's also worry about knowledge is power. They're like, we don't even know if knowledge is power is in the game, but if it is, it's probably best if we shuffle things around. So Kane gets the fake idol from Jamie. Jamie gets the extra vote from Lauren. That way, if anybody had the knowledge is power advantage, they couldn't say to them like, hey, give me your idol. Because that's one thing with knowledge is power. You don't just need to know they have an advantage. You have to know what advantage it is. Like, you have to say like, oh, do you have an idol? Let me have it. It's mine now. So they kind of switched all that up. Franny's also getting concerned, though, because Tika is playing the middle, right? And she's like, I don't like that. And she has a right to be concerned about it, but it's not really the right time, right? You have, again, supposedly 2 advantages on the Rat2 side, where there's the extra vote for Lauren, there's the fake idol for Jamie, and Danny really kind of shoots it down pretty quickly, saying like, listen, that's like sleeping under a dragon's wing. Like, you don't want to keep those around, right? Let's get rid of these advantages. Let's get rid of one of them first. Then we can worry about Tika afterwards. And then we get Tika, Carson, Jam, and Carolyn kind of coming together to see what they want to do, right? Which side do they actually want to work with here, and what they want to do at Tribal. Jam, he wants to get Kane out. Carolyn, though, she really wants to get Danny out. And this, I think, goes back all the way to when she went on that reward with, it was like the adventure, really, that her, Carson, and I believe it was Brandon went on. And she just felt like she was the third wheel. Danny didn't really want to even, kind of talk to her at all. And she just felt really out of place there. So she doesn't trust Danny and thinks he's the biggest target. Meanwhile, Carson's kind of neutral on it. He's like, I don't care. I just want us all to stick together. We get the Tribal, and they kind of talk about the whole sitting out thing. And maybe this is Survivor, right? Like, just because somebody says they won't vote for you doesn't mean they have to honor it. And Danny had given that scout's honor, and he fully admits, he's like, I'm not a scout. So that was pretty cool. And then we saw they started talking about, hey, it's been a really chaotic season. It's like, would you rather play in a chaotic season or a very quiet season? And Kane's like, oh, chaotic. I love chaos. And then the whispers start. So we get Franny and Kane kind of whispering, and then boom, all of a sudden, it's a live Tribal just like that. Danny's name was being thrown out by Carolyn. Jamie's name was thrown out as well. Kane says to Jamie, though, like, I think you're good. We don't have to play the idol. He thinks that Carolyn is solid, and they don't have to worry. Jamie plays Lauren's extra vote, so she writes down an extra vote there, and they do not play the fake idol, so that was not in play there. We do end up with 2 votes for Heidi, 2 votes for Danny, 1 vote for Jamie, and the rest are all on Kane, meaning not only is the extra vote wasted, but Kane got voted out with the fake idol, which is just going to make Jamie devastated. She's going to think that she had a real idol that Kane was voted out with. Kane will also think he left with a real idol that was Jamie's. And there's no one to tell them that it's not. Matthew, all the way back, way early in the season, had gotten the cage idol and used the fake idol to fake out Jamie. He told Carson it was real, so Carson didn't even know it was fake. The only one who knew it was a fake idol was Matthew. We were robbed of Matthew getting taken out way too early in this game with that bum shoulder. Why'd you have to go climbing a rock, Matthew? Why? So yeah, this is just amazing, and I can't wait to see Jamie just devastated to have lost her idol to Kane. She technically still has the other fake idol. Well, it was a real idol until merge. And I wonder if she kept that around, because why not, right? Use that as a fake idol now, especially since Kane left with your fake idol that you thought was real. You might as well have something. But overall, it was a good episode, but it had that fluff in there, which I really didn't enjoy. So what do you guys think? What did you think of the episode? Did you like how it all went? Were you happy to see Kane go? Would you rather have someone else been voted out? I'm just loving Danny. I think Danny's great. I don't think he's going to win, but he's great. Carolyn is still great entertainment. But yeah, what do you guys think of everything going on in this season of Survivor? Let me know in those comments down below. We also were watching live over on Kick, so if you haven't followed the new Kick stream, links are in the description, pinned comment down below. You can find all the links to my socials there, including Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and Kick. So go follow the Kick stream. It was always a good time watching that with you guys over there. So thank you guys again so much for watching. If you are new here, though, hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, you never miss a stream, and I will see you next time.